This week, a new Overwatch character, Metal Gear Survive's flops, we're getting a new GTX,
20 series, new architecture,
and Avengers is coming a week early!
yeah! All on Geek This Week. What's up, guys? This is Geek This Week, the news show where we tell you about all the cool geeky things going on this week. I'm Kyler.
And I'm X.
And let's get started. This week in tech, rumors are flying that Nvidia is going to be releasing a new line of GTX graphics cards later this month. According to Tweaktown, who spoke to a well-placed source in Nvidia, they are planning on announcing their next line of cards during the GPU Tech Conference from March 26th to 29th. The cards are rumored to start upwards of $1,500. Tweaktown suspects that the line will be the GTX 20 series instead of the 11 series because they are supposed to be using their new Ampere architecture as opposed to the Volta architecture they've been using in their past cards. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon to be the first to know when these cards are officially announced.
Next in tech, an AI has beat lawyers at their own game. Law Geeks pitted 20 experienced US lawyers against their official AI algorithm in spotting potential risk in a variety of business contexts. Unsurprisingly, the AI tore through the contracts faster, but was surprisingly more accurate at noticing flaws in the contracts. The AI scored a total 94% accuracy, while the lawyers only scored an 85. However, the highest performing AI matched the highest scoring lawyer with a 94, but crushed the lowest scoring lawyer with 67. It also took lawyers an average of 92 minutes to review the contracts. The AI, however, took 26 seconds. It's incredibly likely we'll have computers helping in our legal system pretty soon here, but don't let them make decisions. Don't do it.
No. The Mobile World Congress annual event has brought us a whole new slew of phones. Let's try to roll through these as quick as we can because there's just a ton of information to pour through. First, Samsung announced their Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. It features a revolutionary new camera, a 5.8-inch screen at 1440p, a Snapdragon 845 processor, 64GB storage, 4GB RAM, and a 6GB version for the S9 Plus, and AR emojis, which nobody asked for and nobody wanted. LG secretly showed select guests their new LG G7 nicknamed Neo. The screen on the G7 is reportedly a 6-inch at 1440p, and it also has a Snapdragon 845 processor, 64GB of storage, and models with 4GB or 6GB of RAM. Sony announced the new Xperia XZ2. It has a 5.7-inch screen at 1080p with a surprising aspect ratio of 2:1.
What?
The Snapdragon 845 processor, 64GB storage, and 4GB of RAM. Finally, Nokia announced two phones, the first being Nokia 8 Sirocco with a 5.5-inch screen at 1440p, Snapdragon 835 processor, 128GB of storage, and 6GB of RAM. The other is the Nokia 7 Plus with a 6-inch screen at 1080p, also with a 2:1 aspect ratio. Snapdragon 660, 64GB storage, and 4GB of RAM. Woo! That's a lot of information to swallow.
California just passed a new law that will allow driverless cars to be on the road without anyone in the car in the first place.
What?
New law passed by the California DMV will allow completely autonomous cars as long as there is a remote control for long-range control and a law enforcement action plan with instructions on how to contact a remote human operator and disengage the autonomous mode. Still, this is a huge development for driverless cars and should open new roads to companies like Uber and Lyft.
This week in gaming, Metal Gear Survive released to disappointing numbers. The game flopped in Japan, and the UK sales chart shows that the game sold 85% less copies than Metal Gear Revive did in about the same amount of time. The game has a 64 on Metacritic, but an awful 1.5 user score with hundreds of reviews giving it a 0. The game also requires a constant internet connection and cannot be played offline. It's reported that you can only have one save slot, and if you want another save slot, I guess you'll have to pay $10 for it.
Speaking of microtransactions, the ESRB will now start labeling in-game purchases. This will apply to purchasing basically anything in a game, from skins to music, from random items to virtual coins. They say the label isn't designed to warn gamers of microtransactions, as they don't consider loot boxes gambling, but it is supposed to help quickly inform concerned parents who are buying games for their kids. Regardless, it is still a very good move.
Blizzard released a short cryptic video on their Twitter yesterday. The video shows a Diablo-themed light switch turning on and off. Many are speculating this is a tease at a possible Diablo release for Nintendo Switch, but nothing official has been announced just yet. We definitely wouldn't be turned off by the idea, though.
Speaking of Blizzard, Overwatch's 27th hero was temporarily available for playtesting, and she should be available pretty soon. Her name is Birgitta Lindholm. Do not pronounce it Bridget. And she's the daughter of Torbjorn. She is a tank support hybrid that wields a rocket flail that she can swing wide to hit multiple enemies at once or throw to knock enemies back. Whenever she deals a little bit of damage, she heals nearby people, making her kind of a support. She can throw a repair pack that can heal or grant armor to allies, a barrier shield to deflect damages, and an ult that throws armor on all nearby allies as she speeds up. Doomfist, Mei, and Sombra also recently received some updates, including a game-changing upgrade to Sombra's abilities. You know that wall run thing? Yeah, you don't get to do that anymore. Sorry!
This week in movies, in honor of the massive success of Black Panther, Disney has donated $1 million to the Boys and Girls Club of America to help expand their STEM program. This includes opening a STEM Center of Innovation in Oakland, California, where part of Black Panther took place. Bob Iger, CEO of the Walt Disney Company, said, "It is thrilling to see how inspired young audiences were by the spectacular technology in the film, so it's fitting that we show our appreciation by helping advance STEM programs for youth, especially in undeserved areas of the country." What a fantastic move by Disney. We hope to see them continue to inspire change and innovation around the world.
In other superhero news, you will be able to see Avengers Infinity War a week earlier than they anticipated. That's right, the movie was originally slated for a May 4th release, but was moved up an entire week. So now you can watch the next installment of the Marvel Cinematic Universe starting Friday, April 27th. Be sure to check out our new podcast series, Assemble, and just remember, you know that list of like watch a movie a week? You're off now. Go watch another one right now. Well, after the video.
A trailer to the sequel of hit movie Wreck-It Ralph was released on Wednesday. In the trailer for the movie, titled Ralph Breaks the Internet, the arcade owner hooks up his games to the internet. Our stars Ralph and Vanellope begin their next adventure, browsing clickbait headlines, checking out eBay, and even playing a couple of apps. The movie will release on Thanksgiving, aka November 22nd, and hopefully Wreck-It Ralph 2 doesn't pull an emoji movie.
I'm hoping they show the emoji movie what they were intending to do.
Yeah!
This week in science, a new discovery shows that tattoos are much older than we originally anticipated. Using infrared technology, tattoos were found on two naturally mummified Egyptian bodies from over 5,000 years ago, more than 1,000 years earlier than we previously thought. The mummies, one male and one female, had been discovered 100 years ago and were on display in the British Museum, but no one could tell they had tattoos until they were examined under infrared light. These mummies definitely prove that tattooing was around in Egypt's pre-dynastic period, ranging from 4000 to 3100 BC.
Also this week, comic book nerd and filmmaker Kevin Smith nearly died Sunday night when he had a massive heart attack that sent him to the emergency room. He was scheduled to record 2 stand-up shows that night at 6 p.m. and 9 p.m., but canceled the second show to go to the hospital. The doctor said if he didn't cancel that second show, he would have died from a 100% blockage of an artery. Luckily for him and us, the 47-year-old comedian is still above ground. We hope you get well soon, Kevin.
And that's all for this week, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe and that bell icon so you can be notified whenever these go live. And we'll catch you geeks next week.